Scrouthy, how's it going? Good to see you, as always. Scrouthy is beating Gato today. Good job, good job. I really need to make one of those stream starting soon screens, and then while that's showing, set up all my stream stuff, and then take that off, and then actually start talking and stuff. Scrouthy is the champion, my friends. Let's start up TikTok, and we are... Kareem, what's up? How's it going? And we are good. We're live everywhere. We're live on Twitch, YouTube ×2. We're live on TikTok. Discord announcement is done. Music is going. Mic is on. We're good. We're golden. Guys, we're getting into this. I'm excited. This is going to be a fun day. I've been looking forward to this day for a while. Let's go ahead and pray, and then we'll get started. Lord Jesus, thank you so much for this day. You are good, and I thank you again for another opportunity to stream and to do what I love, making this game. Lord, I pray your blessing over Scrouthy and Kareem and over anyone else that might join the stream today. Lord, would you just help me to work with excellence today and to work with creativity and imagination and just to create work that is excellent to my client and excellent and pleasing to you, Lord. It's in your name I pray all these things. Amen. Okay, guys, I am excited. Glad to hear you're good, doing great, Kareem. Good to see that. Is TikTok actually live? Why is it not connecting? It is. Okay, cool. We're good. We're good. We're good. How long is it going to take? How long is what going to take, RJack? Making the collectibles? Not long. Cyanide, what's up? Always good to see you in chat, Cyanide. So glad you're here. Okay, guys, so last stream, I believe it was on Friday, we finished the level. Okay, the level is done, at least in as much as the objects are in the level. Okay, so the whole level is done, beginning to end. All the big objects are placed, buildings, roads, sidewalks. All the little ones are placed, cars, signs, manhole covers, cones, fire hydrants, fences, porta potties, all sorts of stuff, guys. Everything is done from beginning to end. We're good. And then if I just take Drip, the main character, and I teleport him to the end, even at the end, day-night cycle works, day to night as you move from left to right of the level. Every object is breakable, so if I do this, boom, see that? He's wobbleable. The sign, wobbleable, boom, when you hit it. Dude, thanks for the sub. Cats, fun place on YT means a lot. When you get to the final port, the dock where the final boss fight happens, everything's here. We've got benches, light posts. My favorite addition that we did last week on stream was we made these life preserves in Blender, and we made these ropes in Blender that wrap around the posts. That was so fun, and it adds so much to this port. I love it so much. This is the final boss fight area, so everything is done as far as object placement in the game. Now today, I'm super pumped. I'm super excited to work on the Infinium. So the Infinium in this world of Tooland is these guys right here. This is Infinium, okay? This is Infinium. They are the alien crystals from outer space that somehow get into the world or the city of Tooland. And these crystals, these Infinium, these are the things that power Drip's weapons and suit and give him all the superpowers that he has, okay? So we are going to be modeling some of these crystals in Blender today. We're going to be bringing them into Unity Game Engine, and then we are going to make them collectible. So whenever you destroy an object, they will pop out. You can go near them, and the Infinium will get pulled to you, and you'll collect it. So I'm excited about that. That's what's going to start really making this feel like an actual game. I'm super pumped for it. Hope you guys are too. But let's get started, okay? Kareem was the name of the game called Tooland. It is not out yet, hopefully in a few months. And there's a chance the game may be available on PC, Steam, possibly. I could talk to my client about it. Primary output is going to be Android and iOS on those stores, but it would be super simple to port this to PC. Because I mean, it's already working on PC. I'm using it on PC right now. All I have to do is go into File, Build Profiles, switch to Windows, export it, done. We'll have to do a few things like with the controls. So like right now, controls are WASD. Like spacebar isn't doing anything. I could easily just make spacebar the jump. Yeah, so could easily port this to PC, but ultimately we'll have to ask my client about that. But yeah, totally in play. is here. Exactly, just like Mario coins. Anything that you collect in a game, like picking up Mario coins, that's a great example. It'll be just like that. Yep, yep, yep. Can you double jump? Yep, jump, jump. Boop. Sorry for the lag there. So he has a jetpack on, and whenever you double jump, that's what allows him to double jump, essentially. Most games have double jumps, but they don't really show or explain how a double jump actually works. Because a lot of times it just, like in Smash, for instance. Smash, you have a double jump, but like how in the world is someone doing a double jump while they're in midair? It just doesn't make sense. For something like this, it makes total sense because he's got a jetpack on. So that double jump is his jetpack giving him some boost. Okay, anything else in chat? Nope, nope, nope. We're good. I'm rehearsing for a play tonight. Nice. What is the play? Yeah, Cyanide, no worries there. There's fees for the Android and iOS stores too. iOS, the Apple Store, you have to pay $99 a year as a developer fee. Android, you have to pay a one-time fee of either $25 or $30 to set up your store. I forget what it is, 25 or 30. But yeah, that's all trivial. That's up to my client. Okay, guys, let's get into this. Let's make this collectible. Let's actually make items that Drip, the superhero, can pick up. Man, Banky, what's up? Welcome to the stream. Seems a bit early to stream. Keto, how's it going? Yeah, I've been doing these IRL game dev streams for weeks, months now. And I've been streaming usually from like 10 in the morning EST to like, sometimes only to like 12 or 1 o'clock lunchtime, but usually they've been like full day streams and I go until like 5 o'clock. Thanks, man, appreciate it a lot. Okay, let's get into Blender. Let's actually make some of these crystals. First things first, guys, let's drag in our reference. Clear the rotation, and then that is wrong. There we go. 90, rotate Z 90, and let's build some of these crystals. Now, I don't want I don't want to only have one crystal, okay? I want to have various sizes of crystals. So I want to have like maybe a small, medium, large. And then I also want to have variations within each size. So I don't want every crystal, like let's say this is a crystal, okay? Let's say this is a crystal right here, boop, merge at center, merge, extrude, merge at center. Like let's just pretend this is the crystal, okay? I don't want to have like, I don't want to have that, okay? I don't want to just have small, medium, large, just like that. I want to have different sizes, like a small, medium, large, but I also want to have variations. So let's take these and then duplicate them out. So let's say these are still small, medium, large, but then we would have variations. Like maybe, I don't know, this would be like out like that, and this would be like that, and this would be like that, and this would be like that. I don't know, it's just like some variation within each size, right? So different sizes, small, medium, large, and then within each size we'll have like variations, okay? So then every time these crystals, the Infiniums, spawn in the game, they look a little different, a little more randomized. So that's what we're gonna do. But let's of course make better looking crystals. I need to stop saying crystals. They're Infinium. Guys, I'm so pumped. Can you guys tell I'm pumped? I'm so excited. But first things first, in Blender, always delete the default cube. Poor default cube. Poor default cube. Let's start with another cube. Cube, boop. And then let's see. Let's look at these crystals. Let's take a look at their properties. Okay, so they are all long. Okay, they all have about, none of them are only 3 sides. They're probably a cube in the sense that they have 4 sides, maybe 5 sometimes. The top always ends in a point. They have these like cutouts on the corners. That looks really cool. I love that. It's like this guy right here comes to a point, 1, 2, 3. That's probably like actually a 6. I don't think I'll do cubes. I think what we'll actually do is, I'm gonna not start with a cube. I'm gonna start with a cylinder, but make it a lot less, like not a 3 or a 4. I think like a 5 or a 6. Those could look, I like 6. What do you guys think? Maybe 6 is a little much. Let's do 5. Just think about like from the angle that you'll see in the game. So if you, from any angle, you would at most see 3 sides, right? We only ever see 3 sides at most. But if I do 6, we could see still 3 sides. It would have to be 7 before we start seeing 4. So yeah, 6 or 5 would be good. 4, I think it's too cubish. I think 5 or 6, but let's count these. It'd be like 1, 2. It probably has 4, maybe 5. 1, 2. I want to say 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We could, to add variation, we could do 5 or 6, but I think 5 is good. What do you guys think? 5? 6? Maybe it says 6. What we could do is 5 for the smaller ones and 6 for the larger ones. That sounds about right. Let's do that. Let's make the smaller one first, okay? Or not the smaller one. We're gonna make like the average one, okay? So that will be the middle one. So we'll do the average one, and then from there we'll make a larger version, which might even be like a cluster of Infinium, a cluster. So it might even be like more than one. That would be cool. And then the smaller ones will be like smaller versions of the average. So let's make the average Infinium crystal. So here it is. Let's scale it up. Feels good. And then let's extrude the top and then merge at the center. Actually, I want to make these even. Let's do this. Extrude both, 0, enter, scale Z. And then merge that at center. Merge that at center. Boom. That right there is like 90% of the shape of the crystal. Okay, there it is. There's your average Infinium crystal. Now we could go in and add the cuts. Now I was thinking about the cuts. I'm thinking for the cuts we just do something like, I can't just bevel corners, because if I just bevel this corner, right? If I just bevel this like that, like it looks good from right there, but if you look at it from the side, oh wait, that worked. No, it didn't. See, look at that. See, it's not a flat face. Now, if you imagine these crystals, these corners that are chipped out, they should be flat, almost like a knife cut straight through it, right? And if you look at this, okay, it's actually not like that. So I'm gonna convert it to tries. So that's, you see right there, it's not actually cut flat if I just bevel the vertices. So I think a better way to do this would be to cut it with a knife tool like this. K, cut, and then press C to cut all the way through. Click, enter, done. And then get rid of that vertex and then press F to join them. Now the face is perfectly flat. Now it looks like it's actually cut, right? So we do that for each vertex. I kind of wish there was a better way to randomize that though, so we don't have to do that every single time. I could use the cell fracture add-on. So if I do this, let me do a little less objects here. Number of input points. Actually, just using own verts, that's fine. Let me just press OK and just see what it comes up with. Yeah, that doesn't work. I'd have to add more pieces. I thought there was a way with cell fracture where you could actually make particles, own particles, child particles, like without making a standalone particle system. I'm still doing it. Object, quick effect, cell fracture. Like, I don't want to have to make my own particle system. I thought this would do it for you. Okay, I could just do this. I could just, let me move you guys out of the way. I could just add a subdiv surface simple on the 2. Check out how much geometry we have there. Okay, you guys in the way. Wireframe, that's good. Okay, and then run it. Object, quick effects, cell fracture, own verts. Okay. It's still doing it super even. Why is it super even? It's been years since I've used Cell Fracture. Break shards recursively. Oh, that makes like smaller versions. Yeah, probably want that. Still going, it's still going. You just go into sculpt and do it. Yeah, but this is for a game, so I need to be low poly. I'm not gonna go into all of that. Sculpt is, yeah, we're not doing that. I mean, something like this could look really cool. It's too much though. This is game, it's for mobile. I think if we kept playing with this though, it could look pretty cool. Like I want those shapes right there. I think I'm just doing it manually, honestly. I'm just gonna do it manually. We're just gonna take this as the base shape. Actually, not quite. So if you look at these, like even when it comes to a point at the top, it's not like all of these need to be randomized. So mesh, transform, randomize. Yeah, that's what we need to do. Okay, so amount. Something like that. That makes it look more diamond-esque. We could just do that. We could just select everything. Mesh, transform, randomize. And that already gets us pretty far. And then I could cut that. So like, for example, cut. Nope. Oh, it's not going all the way through. Cut. 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 Delete these. Fill them. Fill them. Fill them. Like that looks pretty cool. That looks pretty cool. I think that looks cool. And especially when we add a texture on this and we get some bevel in the texture and kind of some worn edges, that'll look really cool. I think we should do that. I feel like that's the simplest, easiest, best looking version. But what I don't like is like this top part, that has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 edges on that face, and it looks really cool. Like this up here, I guess it has 1, 2, 3, 4. I could cut again. What if I did like a little cut right there? Boom. And then cut that out. Boom, 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 boom. Nah. It did. Oh, it did. I didn't follow my pattern. I need to do that again without deleting that piece right there, because that's what I want. What I need to do is I just need to snap vertex. You to there and you to there. Get rid of duplicates. And then do this whole thing needs to be a face. There we go. Now we're talking. That looks a little better. Hey, thanks for the follow, King E and James. Let me catch up on chat real quick. SBK, what's up? Things are going well. The level is done. Like all the things are placed in the level is done. Big details, little details, all done. Right now I'm making the Infinium, which is this collectible. crystal that powers up your suit and your weapons. So I'm modeling those crystals in Blender right now and just trying to figure out the best way to go about doing that. Sculpt and then decimate. You know, I just get cats or any plugins that lower poly. Yeah, it's just too, it's so, like there's 1,000 ways to do something, right? Like we could totally do it that way. I think that's a little bit too complex. I think this is a much simpler way to do it here. The Flying Daggers, what's up? What do you recommend for someone to start programming for games? Is Godot good for me to start? Yeah, you can start with Godot. Godot is open source, it's free. The community is getting larger. I would still recommend Unity or Unreal just because the communities are so much larger, so there's going to be a lot more tutorials out there for you to learn from. You probably have an easier time learning. I'm biased towards Unity, but I don't have anything against Unreal or Godot. I would say you're going to be able to get a lot further with Unity and Unreal than you would with Godot, just because Godot is so new. And it doesn't have nearly as much as Unity and Unreal. But any is fine. It really does not matter that much. And the great thing too, I'm reading all your messages, Flying Daggers. The great thing too is you don't have to commit to any one engine, right? It's not like if you choose one, then you're stuck with it forever. So they're all free. Unity's free, Unreal's free, Godot's free. So if you're leaning towards Godot, then just download it and play around with it, see what you can create. If you like it, great. If you don't, then go download Unity and try that. What is the age of the game? Not sure what you mean by that. See ya, Kareem. Okay. I feel like there's a way to automate this. There's gotta be a way to automate this. Procedurally a little bit, but I still want the creative control to be able to place the cuts where I want them. I know there's a way to do this with geometry nodes that would make it go so fast. Like... I could also do some type of Boolean, like we add, I don't know. Wait, hold on, I think I just thought of something. Guys, I just figured out how to do it. Okay. Okay, so here's the basic premise. We use a particle system. Particle system, new particle system. Okay, but instead of emitting that, we need to emit. I haven't had a particle system in Blender in a long time. But we need to set objects to be cubes. So I'm gonna add a cube. Guys, this is gonna be super sick. This is gonna work. Okay, cube. We're going to emit cube. Can't see. Cube. Render as object. There we go. Cube. Okay. So now it is emitting cubes, but we obviously don't need that many. We need like 10 and even less than that. But we want to emit, I want to say only from vertices. So let's emit from vertices. Where is that? Garrett, what's up? How's it going, man? Welcome to the stream. Advanced. Where is emit from? Source, emit from vertices. There we go. Okay. So we have cubes emitting from vertices. Okay, perfect. Perfect. And we just need to make the rotation random. That's not working because we need to velocity randomize. There we go. And then let's see. I don't want to emit all of them. I only want some vertices like that, okay? So it's going to emit these cubes, and then essentially what we do is we take that and then we do a cut with a Boolean modifier, okay? So we would do, like we would apply that, okay. Oh, make instance is real, sorry. Make instance is real. And then turn it off. Yep, okay. And then we would do a Boolean and select that object, but we would want to combine them all. And we could do this for like all the crystals at one time and it would be randomized, okay? So we'd Control J, join those. And then Boolean object boop, and then intersect union fast intersect boom, and then essentially apply it. Boop. Why isn't it working? Apply. Oh, it is, but it's not. Difference. What? There we go. Union. No, difference. Exact. Boom. So there it is. And then apply it. Boom, and then there is our crystal. So that's the basic idea, but obviously some of these cubes are intersecting, so what we would need to do to make the cut flatter and work better, let's undo all of that. We just need to edit the particle cubes. Okay, so we need to take the Boolean off, turn the particle system on, delete that. What is that? Oh. There we go. That's our cube. And those are our pieces. So we just need to adjust the size of that so that it actually just cuts. So it'll be like a scale Z. There we go. And we just need to rotate it so that it always is on that vertex somehow in the particle settings. Kareem, what's up? These crystals are the Infinium in the game. They're the collectibles. So you collect stuff in the game and that gives you power. Gives your weapons and your suit power. They're like little collectibles. Like, so you like in the Mario games where you run around and you collect coins. Like this, whenever you break an object, these crystals, this Infinium will pop out and you collect it, and it gives you powers up your stuff. Please start streaming like having. Oh, awesome, Shaq. Well, I can't check right now because I'm streaming, but if you're still streaming when I'm done, I will go check it out for sure. Yes, this is Blender, Kareem. I'm learning Blender for animation, but I can't understand it. How did you start off? Tutorials. Just follow tutorials. Oh, the age rating for the game? Everyone. PG. Well, I don't know. I don't know. Not PG-13. That's like I don't know what age rating would be for game. Pretty much everyone. Yeah, probably everyone, because even though it's got fighting in the game, there's no blood, no gore, no violence in that regard. So there is like beating up bad guys, but that's the extent. Yeah, this is a mobile game. For a client of mine. Okay. Let's keep going on these crystals. Let's try to figure this out. So we could spawn those, but we just got to move them. And so these are the crystals right here. I'm just trying to figure out a procedural way that I can just generate a lot of these crystals, but get what we need done. Okay, emit from vertices, random order. That's fine. Velocity needs to follow not the normal, but the tangent. No. Rotation. me do 0 random from the... That looks to be it. I just need to flip it. So orientation, axis, normal. Actually, normal tangent is more precise, it looks like. Yep, so normal tangent, and then take this. Okay, that cut, that's still gonna cut into there, and we don't want that. I want it to... Apply scale? No, I don't want to do that, actually. Vertices, random order, hair dynamics? No. It's probably better suited to use geometry nodes for this. Why is it emitting so many from the top? That needs to be not random order. So most of these work, but like still it's... I have to emit from vertices, not faces. It's just not getting... Is that it? I had the randomization on and that was affecting it? Not quite. It's gotta, like, it's not... It needs to emit from like the average of that, whatever that point is. Velocity. Normal, no. Velocity hair. Is that it? Not sure that's it. It's not the global. Let's try velocity hair and then just invert that. So back to that. Oh, see, that's not going to do it either. Shoot. Velocity hair to normal. See, it works in some places, but not every place. Like all these corners, but like that top one, it doesn't. What is that? What? Oh, maybe it does. Hold on. Yeah, I think that's it. Why was it not working before? Isn't that what I had it to before? Scale Z, scale Z, scale Z, scale X, scale Y, oh. Scale Y, scale X, scale X. That's it. It just needs to be... Yeah, that would cut properly. Yep. That would do it. That would cut properly. Yep. Now let's just randomize the scale. We're getting close, guys. We're getting close. randomize, not the rotation, but here, velocity. No, not velocity. Hair length. Yeah, hair length, that works. Randomize that. Yeah, that would randomize it super nicely. I think they could cut in deeper, so let me grab the cube and scale. Okay, so scale Y just so we get deeper cuts. Yeah, that would cut really nicely, I feel like. So now, essentially what we have to do is, before I make a bunch of crystals and make this happen to all the crystals at the same time, I just want to test it on this one first. Guys, this is going to work. This is going to be super cool. So we got our particle system. Let's go ahead and add the Boolean. Make instances real. Let me save first. Make instances real. Okay. Turn it off. So we got just our crystal, and then all these instances. Oh, that little dude needs to go. Oh, no, wait, he doesn't. Okay. Yep. So join these all together, Control J. Why does it do that? I don't understand. It's like adding to the original cube. I don't know why it does that. It's okay. Because we got that big piece, that's our cut object. So then from here, we just do the Boolean to this cube. And what were our setting? We can hide that. And our set. Oh, look at that, guys. Guys, look at that. Oh, that's gorgeous. Oh, that's gorgeous. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, that looks good. Yeah. Let's hide everything. Boom. So we can easily just have, I could make 15 variations of this super fast. Okay. So like there's a crystal or infinium, love it. And then after we do make the cuts, then I can just go in, we apply it. Or instead of applying and adding the random variation this way, instead of doing this, transform, randomize, instead of doing that, what we could do is just do it procedurally. Here, add a displace modifier with a texture. Go to that texture, make it clouds, doesn't matter. And then size, whatever. Go back to the modifier. And then just dial the strength down a little bit, like a... So 1 is nothing. Oh no, 1 actually does add something. 0 is nothing. Yeah. So we do like a... add a 0.7 to every crystal. Might be a little much. Mid-level needs to be 0. So that anything added goes outward. Yep. So like a 0.5. Yep, that's what we do. But then it does just random stuff like that, and I don't like that. Maybe it'd be better for us to randomize it by applying it and then just doing some proportional editing and do something like that. Yep. And then for every single crystal, I'd hate to generate a separate texture for every single crystal. to get the normal map for those edges. Could probably do something with a procedural shader in Unity and base the edge texture off of the edges of the object. We'll do shader, material, UVs, and all that stuff later. So let's just mass produce these crystals, okay? Let's just mass produce the crystals. Let me reopen recent Infinium. Don't save. Okay, so here we are. Let's turn off the Boolean for now. Turn the particle system off for now, okay? And then we want to make variations of this, right? So we need a lot of these, so let's do an array modifier to mass produce these. I'm gonna hide that. So let's array these to mass produce them. 2, and then count, I don't know, 10 variations of each size. Feels about right. And then let's shift D, Y. Those will be the larger ones. And we have the littler ones. 10 variations of each. Feels good. As far as size goes. Oh, why is that random? Or not random, but why is it pushed? Or maybe it's an optical illusion. Is that centered? It's not. Somewhere along the way. Was it when I randomized the transform? Shoot. Are all these pieces? Yeah, so those aren't randomized. They only randomize the top and bottom? Wait a second. It is an optical illusion. Are those centered or are they not? Set origin to geometry. It is centered, but it's not. Something fishy's going on here. If I drag that down there, there's no way that is the same distance as that. Yeah. But from top view, all these edges are the same. Oh, I know why. Because like if you look at it from the side, like it's not a cube. It's a whatever the shape is, hexagon. Okay, that's super confusing, but it's correct. We haven't displaced it, so I think we're fine. And plus, we're gonna randomize it anyway. So yeah, they look centered. They're good. Okay, we're good. False alarm. False alarm, guys. Sorry about that. Big Ostrich, what's up? Welcome to the stream. Good to see you. Like for uni, I had the flu, so I missed class. Oh no, FaZe, you can ask me anything you want. Of course, that's what these streams are for. Do these streams to hang out with you guys, answer questions. Good tutorial recommendation from Blender. Oh yeah, there's so many tutorials on YouTube, guys. You could follow Andrew Price's tutorials. If you're a little bit more advanced, you could follow Gleb Alexandrov. He's another really good one. Purple crystals. Yeah, these are Infinium in the game. I'm gonna make them like A little psychedelic like that, where they're kind of like purpley, kind of bluish, kind of both. Let's see. Press Control A then scale. Yeah, I'll randomize the scale for sure. Thanks for the follows, guys. Means a lot. Mr. Mark, welcome to the stream. How's it going? Have you worked on the characters or skins? Yeah, that's all done. Yeah, we'll do the colors in a bit. I'm just working on models right now and I'm making all the variations. Okay, so we got small, medium, large. I did want to... I think we wanted to make these large ones. 1, 2, 3, 6-sided instead of 5. And I think even these small ones, let's, instead of that size, let's do... So like these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's do the small ones 4. So I'm actually going to... delete that. No, I'm not. I'm going to Shift S, cursor selected, Shift A, mesh cylinder. So these are going to be, maybe we should do 5 still. Actually 3, I think. Okay. I think 3 for the small ones, honestly. Let's do 3. So that's 3, this is 5, and then this one will be cylinder 6. Yeah, let's do that. Scale it up. Doobie-doo. This guy, scale it down. I like that. I like small, medium, large, and they have different size amounts. Delete. Oh, no, wait, not yet. Let's get the height going first. Scale Z. Good. Grab the faces. Guys, this is so fun. This is going to look so good. Scale Z. Boop. Merge at center. This one, merge at center. Okay, so that one's done. Now I can delete that. Not sure on this one yet. We'll have to see. This one, scale Z. Face. Scale, no, not scale. Extrude 0, scale Z. Merge center. Merge center. There we go. And then delete that one. Okay. See how larger crystals are bigger, medium is that one, small is there. Probably this should be like, no, not that. If we did like a grab Z 0.5, grab Z 0.5, so it's less elongated, even more probably. Grab Z -0.2, grab Z 0.2. That's like a little baby crystal that you can collect. This is a medium one, and that's the large one. -1. -1. Small, medium, large. Cool. And then just copy the modifiers on those. You would need to do array first and then particle system so that it randomizes that. Okay. So use these guys, copy the modifiers. Boop. Save it. And then for that particle system, go ahead and turn it on. We need more of the particles. So number would be... Oh, we got to use the modifier stack right there. Boop. Nice. Now it's randomizing that for all of those. Probably need more cuts, I would say. Let's see, how many verts are there for these? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 11, 12. So there's 12 times 10, 120. So if I did 120 here, that would cover every single vertex, but we don't want that. We want half maybe. Plus, why is it only doing the bottom ones? Random order, boom. Problem with random order is it's going to sometimes place, I think it might place, yeah, see, like right here, it's placing 2 cubes in the same place, which we don't want. I don't think that would affect anything. I want to do like random order, but never the same vertex twice. I thought there was a way to do that. I mean, worst case scenario, I could just go through and... Actually, I've got a better idea. No, wait. I've got a better idea. Let's do this. Let's not do random order. Let's just set the number so that there's a perfect amount of cubes everywhere. And then I will randomly deselect some and then delete them, right? That's what we're gonna do. So just want to double check that we do have the right amount of particles so that every vertex of the crystal has a cube. So for this crystal, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, plus the bottom, so that's 10, plus top 11, 12. So 12 times 10 is 120. So particle system needs to be 120. Yep, 120. And then let's rename this to be medium, small, large. For this one though, this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12, 13, 14, 14 times 10, 140. So this needs to be 140. Now every vertex is covered. Yep. Need to work on the randomization though. And this one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 times 10, that's 80. Boom, now every vertex is covered. Okay, now I just need to work on the randomization, or the size at least. So the size, we need to randomize the size better, but we'll do like 7 for that one. Whoop. This looks super chaotic, guys, but just trust the process. It's gonna look great when it's done. Hair length 7, hair length 3, that's fine. And then for this one will be like hair length 1. I don't know. This is not pre-recorded. Why would I do a pre-recorded live stream? That does not make any sense. Yes, I'm the Lego VTuber guy. So I do those streams and I also do these IRL game dev streams. I do both. This game I'm working on is for a client of mine. This is Blender Dream Anomaly. Oh, nice. That's super cool, 7. Elizabeth, welcome to the stream. So glad to have you here. Little Army of Crystals? Yep. So for those that are just now joining and did not hear or see my intro portion, so last week we finished all of the object placement in the game for this level. Okay, so all big stuff and little details are all done. Now I'm working on these Infinium crystals. These are the collectible items in the game. So like when you break a car or a trash can or an object or defeat enemies, these Infinium crystals will pop out and then you can collect them, and these Infinium crystals are what power up your suit and your weapons. Okay, and just for some lore stuff in this two-land world. These Infinium crystals are like alien crystals from outer space, and they give Drip his power. So that's what we're making right now. And at first I was just going to... hey, thanks for the sub, maybe on YouTube, appreciate it. At first I was just going to manually make a bunch of crystal variations, like cutting and stuff, but now I've opted to make it more procedural, and the way we're doing that is we have our base crystal model. This guy right here. Different sizes, large, medium, and small. And then we have 10 variations, okay? You know, I could go ahead and do a displace right here. I think that's a better idea. Let's add a displacement, like we talked about before, to randomize the model a bit, and then we'll do the particle part. So displace, new texture, mid-level 0. The texture is going to be, we can just do it a cloud, or not marble. Let's do Voronoi. Yeah. And then intensity's fine. Let's just go with the first one, that's fine. So now let's see, look at that. Now it's already just randomizing the position of every vertex there, okay? It's a little extreme. Actually, I don't know, that looks pretty good. It is a little extreme. So let's adjust that to, so 0 would be nothing. Let's do 1, 2, 3. Let's change the contrast of the texture so that it's a little bit more random colors, contrast. There we go, that looks cooler. Yeah. Brightness, no, that's fine. Cool. Now it will only ever grow. Some of these are a little too extreme. Like that one right there is super extreme. Could do just the Z-axis so that they're all still, like that looks super cool. Like keep the same like shape on the X and Y, but just adjust the Z. Let's do that actually. I think that looks good. What do you guys think? I think that's cool. Let's do it that way. Okay, so then we just want to copy that same displace modifier. Control L, copy modifiers. Not all of them. Or I guess it's fine. We just need to adjust the particle system to use the right one. Small. Yep. And this one, copy modifiers, but use the large particle system. Large, medium, small. Just turn that off for now. Okay, so already we're getting some really good results. Getting some weird... it doesn't have the sharp top, but it does add some randomization, which I really like. So they're more like shards. The medium ones look great. I think we just need to tweak the values for each of these. So small would be a little less on the displacement. So instead of 0.5, it also might help to... Oh yeah, I know what the problem is. We didn't apply the scale. So apply scale. Yeah. Apply scale. Yeah, so that one already looks a ton better. And this one could probably use some more. This is looking sweet though, guys. This is looking sweet. Even if we didn't do these random cuts that we're about to do, just the random Z displacement works really nicely on these small ones, guys. Looks so good. I like these little guys. That's super cool. Whoops. Make it a little bit less, maybe. Yeah, that's good. 3. Yep. And then this one, so this is 3. That's 0.5. Let's make this one like a point. Let's just do 1. Strength 1. I think these look sweet, guys. This is a really good variation. Moon, thank you for the heart. Me means a lot. These look good. Right now I only have a phone and I'm working on getting a PC, but I still want to make a game. What website or app could you recommend if you know of any? Only on mobile? I don't think you can make games on mobile. I could be wrong, but I don't know of anything. Sorry, I'm just Mr. 2 amp purge. Yeah, sometimes it takes me a little bit to respond to stuff, but I try to respond to every message. It just might take a while if I'm just in the zone. Here's a dude who did pre-record live stream to try to use as an alibi to get away with. What? That's something. That's messed up right there. You can use Blender on a tablet, but I'm not sure if you can use Blender on a mobile, like a phone. I'm not sure about that. Voronoi texture. I am using Voronoi texture, but that you might have already said that. No, yeah, I'm definitely using Voronoi texture right here. See? Voronoi. Boop. The name of the game is Tooland. Chaotic. Welcome to the stream, dude. Great to have you here. Okay, so these are already looking fantastic. Okay, and then once we add those cuts in, they're gonna look so good. So good. So we got 10 variations of medium, 10 of small, and 10 of large. Beautiful. Guys, this is looking, I can't wait to bring these into Unity, into the game, and actually make them look good and collectible and floaty and spinning. Oh, it's gonna look so good, guys. It's gonna look so good. It's gonna make it feel like an actual game. Where are we at? Okay, let's do these cuts. I kind of just want to leave it like this. We might could do the cuts with shaders, but I'm not going to do that. Okay, move you guys over here. Let's do this particle system on. I want to randomize the scale of these a little bit better. That is what I want. Whoa. I wonder if those cuts, I think those cuts will be too big. Let's just try it. Okay, so this is where we actually make the random cuts, like, because right now it's going to cut every single vertex, and obviously we don't want that. Let's go ahead and make the instances real. Or just let me save it. Make instances real. Boop. Now turn the particle system off. Now we have all of these pieces here, which we then just want to join together. Okay. Control J, join together. Okay. And then, so that's cube 12. I can turn that off. And then here, do a Boolean. Boop. And use cube 12. This is where the magic starts coming to play. Look at that. Boom, guys. Oh my gosh. Look at that. Look at that. No cuts. Cuts. Well, that one got completely removed. But it's definitely way too many cuts, okay? It looks cool, but it doesn't quite look like the reference. but it's nice. And I love the sizes too. Like I love how some the small versions look great. The big cuts look great. It looks fantastic. We just need to do less cuts. Okay. Less cuts, but that looks fantastic. Okay. So the way we get less cuts is we actually go back to this cube 12, and before joining it, we take all these objects and then we randomly deselect some. Okay, so select, random, deselect, randomly deselect. If we do half of them, that would mean like half of all the vertices get a cut. Let's see what that looks like. So half, and then just delete. Hey, thank you for the heart me, Alex Leopard. Delete. Now, it's gonna be really hard to go ahead and reselect all those. So I'm actually gonna, I'm gonna redo that, move them all to a new collection. Let's just say cut assets. We'll do that because now they're all in cut assets. Now we randomly deselect them. Select, random, deselect 0.5, and then delete. Now, of all those cut assets in here, so select, need to move you guys over here. Select objects. Now we join them together. Boop. And then we can just hide it, and that's cube 2. And then here we do the Boolean, and then use cube 2. Guys. Not union, obviously, not intersect, but difference. Now we are starting to look like Infinium. However, I think that's even still a bit too many cuts at 0.5. Maybe not. Let's look at the reference again. I feel like there's more sharp edges. I think we should do even less than 0.5. So let's go back. Okay. Everything's selected, and let's do a select random. Instead of 0.5, let's do 0.75. So now only a quarter of all vertices will have a cut. No, wait, I need to do 0.25. Yeah, 0.25, delete those. Now of all these in cut assets, select objects, Control J, cube 112, hide, Boolean, 112. It's definitely doing what we're asking it to. There's too many small cuts and not enough big cuts. Calculus is perfect. Hey, thanks for the follow. Odd Logic means a lot. Alex Leopard, what's up? Welcome to the stream. We've got a super fan in the house. Thanks for being here. Are you the person that got the super fan gifted to them by Madam Bun Bun, the other stream? Yeah, the biggest thing is that they all look unique for sure. We got really good variation here. It looks like it has 5 vertices, at least from the front of the image. Yeah, on some of the faces. Well, some of these do. So like if you look at this face. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Anywhere where a vertex gets cut, it's gonna make the face beside it have 5 edges, which is good. I feel like the cut sizes need to be a little bit larger. So let's do Let's keep on doing. And then edit this particle system to be 7, which means this one up here will probably have to be 10's as far as you can take it. Okay, well, let's not use hair length. Let's just do 1 hair length for everything. And then instead of the emission, let's use the scale values. What do we do for random? We have 0.05 and 0.5, so this will just need to be 0.14, 0.5. This one could be somewhere in there. Might be a good cut. We'll have to just test it though. Wish I could test it without applying everything. Wait a second, I think I can. Extreme Rules, what's up? Welcome to the stream. I think I can. So what we do is we just duplicate all of these. T0, enter. And then the duplicated versions, we take the particle system off. Take the particle system off. Take the particle system off. So we have our crystals. We can hide, let's see. We're gonna do large cuts, medium cuts, small cuts. Rename this to small Infinium. Medium Infinium. This is gonna be awesome, guys. This is gonna be cool. It's gonna be trust the process. I know it looks super chaotic now, but it's gonna look really good. Large Infinium. Okay. So then, those are our pieces. And then I can just hide that, hide that, hide that. However, with each cut, let me just hide the crystals first. Go back to these cuts, large cut, medium cut, small cuts. We need to not show the emitter in here, which is the crystals, the crystal pieces. So in the particle system, I just need to say, render, do not show emit. Oh, it's still in there, shoot. Viewport display. Oh, awesome. Nope, that's not working either. Shoot. Like the mesh, I can still see the crystal in there. Pretty sure. Yeah, it's little triangle things. Don't show emitter in viewport display. Maybe it'll still work. We'll see. So the idea was essentially hide those. Show these. And then use Boolean from the other guy. So add Boolean. And then take medium cuts. Yeah, it doesn't work because it's cutting out the original pieces. Shoot. Could probably do it with geometry nodes and that would work. That's what I should have done. I should have done geometry nodes with this. That makes so much more sense. What's up, A-Inch? Shama, please do not spam in the chat. I will see your message. You just got to give me time. Please do not spam in the chat. Have you worked on previous games? Sort of, not really. I haven't worked on any previous game that has been published on an app store or anything. But I've been doing game design. I've been doing 3D visual effects for movies and TV shows for professionally, like contract work for the past 11 years, and I've been doing game design for the past 4 or 5 years. Oh yeah, I'm getting my hourly rate. Yep. We'll do the YouTube and TikTok chat soon. Do the fancy moderating. Oh, awesome, awesome. Appreciate it, Chaotic. Okay, so this is not working because those original pieces are there. I was really hoping that we could. Like in the particle settings, not show the underlying piece. So I don't have to keep going back and forth to test things out. I kind of want to try geometry nodes, but I'm not as well versed with geometry nodes. Let's play around with it just for a little bit in geometry nodes and see if I can get something equivalent with it. You guys just have to bear with me on this because I'm not as advanced in geometry nodes. I need to be. I wish I was. Okay. So I'm gonna hide everything else for now. Hide the cuts, only pull out the Infinium. Okay. So let's take this and go into geometry nodes. Geometry nodes. Go into geometry nodes, okay. And then new. Is there a particle? No, it's not particle, it's instance on points, I believe. Instance on points. Instance a cube input. Object, what was our, it was cube. Okay, so instance cube on every point. No, group input, pick instance. No, that's not right. Invalid link. There we go. Awesome. Okay, cool. Yeah, there we go. So now we are instantiating instance on points. Cool. We're getting somewhere. We'll do this if we figure it out. So take the geometry of the crystals and then instance the cube everywhere, but it's not using the scale. Scale. Okay, that works. And then the rotation. We would want to randomly rotate it, but based on the input points. So we can't just do that. We need the rotation to be based on... You made a game? Nice, Vix. What did you make? Send it to me on Discord. Mr. Trick A, welcome to the stream. Hey, thanks for the share on the live. Appreciate it. I'm working on a mobile superhero game for a client, and right now I'm specifically making these Infinium crystals that you collect in the game. But I was doing some stuff with particles, but I'm testing out doing this in geometry nodes so that I can adjust things while seeing the result. And I'm just trying to figure out how to rotate the instances based on the point. So point, mesh, probably read, right? Let me just look this up. Blender, geometry nodes, rotate instances on vertex normals. Cool, I found it. Okay, cool. We do geometry to instance. I've already got that. Yep, so all I need is normal. And then align Euler to vector. No, stop trying to auto. No, don't auto in there. Oh my gosh. Deprecated? What? Use the align rotation to vector node instead. Okay. Line rotation to vector. Okay. But it said to do normal to the vector. And then the rotation to the rotation. Yes, let's go. Pivot auto. In Barry Pops rated with 4 viewers. Dude, thank you so much. That's awesome. Where is the sound? Do you guys hear the music on that? Is there music for that? Or did you guys hear music on that? Dude, thank you so much for the raid in Barry Pops. That means a lot. Really appreciate it. Pull up Stream Focus. Where is Stream Focus? There we go. You guys aren't hearing music? There's supposed to be music whenever there's a raid. Oh no. I'm so sorry, in Barry Pops. Thought we should have pre-rolls turned off. I'll wait until you're back in, and then I'll talk to you. Let me send you a message. Dude, Mr. Mark gifted tier 1 sub. Thank you so much. Gifted tier 1 sub to Inberry Pops. That's so kind of you. Okay, awesome. Dude, Inberry Pops. I have no idea who you are, but guys, shout out to Inberry Pops. Can someone shout out? I've been seeing whenever I do raids into other people's streams, they'll do the shout out feature where they shout out my channel. I don't have that set up yet. And I don't know how to. So I think you can do it, Chaotic, since you're a mod. Would you mind giving a shout out somehow to Inberry Pops? Dude, Inberry Pops, thank you so much. What were you streaming before you raided? Thanks for being here, by the way. Thanks for all the raids. It really means a lot. A raid is when you end your own stream, you can go raid another streamer. So if I'm ending my stream now, instead of just ending the stream and you guys just all dispersing, all my viewers dispersing, I can go to another Twitch channel and I can choose to raid that channel. So essentially it will end my stream and it will send all of my current viewers over to that stream. So you're raiding someone else's stream with your own viewers. I do read TikTok, Mr. TSB. That's what I have Stream Focus for. Teach me how to make the Zach D film style. What is that? What is Zach D film style? Yeah, what were you streaming in Berry Pops? Were you doing game design as well? 2D platform, I got the assets and game idea from a tutorial, but I'm adding my own extra features and it's been fun. Can't wait to polish and share. That's awesome. Yeah, show me on the Discord. I'd love to take a look. Overwatch, I saw someone playing a game and now they're seeing you make them. Okay, got it. That's cool. Welcome everyone, welcome to the stream. Yeah, we are making these, we're currently making, so this is the game. This is the Tooland video game. I finished creating the whole level last week, and now I'm actually working on making these crystals. So there's these crystals in the comic book series for this client of mine. These crystals are called Infinium. They're these alien crystals from outer space, and these are what give the player, the character, the superhero, his powers, like his weapon powers and his suit powers and stuff. So all objects in the game are damageable, so you can hit stuff and it'll like wobble around and stuff. But I'm gonna make it so that when you destroy something, these Infinium crystals will pop out. So I'm just modeling them in Blender right now. And to get some procedural results, I am going into geometry nodes and cutting these crystals we have. So let me show you these crystals. So here's like some crystals we have right here. But now I'm just cutting the corners. So like you'll see in this picture, we've got some cuts on here. So to make it look more like crystals, I'm just cutting them all out. I'm super pumped for when I actually finish these models and I bring them into Unity in a little bit and we actually make them collectible by the player. It's gonna be super fun. But let's keep going. So I am switching over from particle mode to geometry node, and currently it looks like, yes, they are rotating based on the normal vector of the vertex, which is cool. Scale, yeah, we do still want to copy the scale, but we want to randomize the scale still too. So let's random value. So take this scale value. Wait, we would need to mix it. So I think we would do a math node. Yep. And then it's going to multiply scale. Yep. Multiply. Why is it not keeping the scale though? Do I need to apply that? Yes, we do. Okay. Or you know what I could do? I could just set that scale here. Let's just do a vector like that. We'll set the scale that way. 1, 1, 1. Going to clear the scale. So that's our cube object that we're using just to spawn on these points. And then one, 5. Hey, thanks for the follow, Boogeyman. Means a lot. It's really cool. I don't understand the process of making a game. Do you make YouTube videos explaining? Not really. The best I do at explaining is with these live streams. I'm going to start putting out a few more tutorial-esque videos on my YouTube because people ask for them all the time. But my channel is not primarily geared towards tutorials. Use Mix It Up and set up all my stuff for raids and shouting out automatically. Mix It Up. Thank you for that. Let me look that up. Mix It Up. Oh, the streamer bot. Okay. Interesting. I will look at that after stream. Thanks for sharing. I will check that out after the stream. On Twitch, all I have to do is this. Nice. Shout out was given to Inberry Pops. Cool. I need to make that message show up in Stream Focus. That would be cool. Cool. Fifth time asking. Sorry, let me check. What are you making then? Fifth time asking. I'm making a game. I'm making these crystals for the game. You gotta bear with me, especially when there's a raid coming in or lots of chats for me to read, because I'm also working too. Like, essentially, guys, I'm working but streaming at the same time, so you gotta be patient with me. I will eventually see your messages. Little Pixie, your middle child wants to know when you want to finish the game with the crystals so you can break Rampage's car. Hopefully today we'll be able to see the crystals actually in the game. Stream Elements in Twitch Creator Dashboard. I don't use Stream Elements, I use OBS. But I guess I could use Stream Elements as a plugin for sure. Okay, so we've randomized these. Okay, so we've got our pieces. And what did I want to randomize again? The orientate, no, not the orientation. And we want to randomize the scale. So let's take this default cube. So we only need that for instancing, right? So let's multiply this value. If we do it 1, then it's like it's not even doing anything, so. No, it's taking that value and then. Why I wouldn't take everything. Is the math note still? Vector math, maybe we do that. Multiply that vector. That's what we want. Okay, so then random will be there. Yeah, now I can actually. Oh yeah, because we want to keep the same shape. We just want to randomize this. So I don't even need that. I can just do a float. I can just do a value like that. And then instead of 1. No, wait, hold on. Yeah, I still need this, So I don't want 0 because then it's going to make things super small. So I want to do back to 1, but then do the max like 2. Okay, now it's randomizing the value of all those cuts, okay? Perfect. So now we've got the cut pieces and I can always adjust these later. Let's just reorganize these geometry nodes a little bit. This is really fun. I was not anticipating using geometry nodes for these crystals, but it's going to make them look really cool. Okay, so then we have to, what is the join? Join geometry. So we actually want to show the original geometry at the end. No, not that. This guy. The crystals is what we want to actually show. But we just want to show, we want this guy, what we just created, that to be the Boolean cut. So now all I have to do is figure out how to cut this geometry with this geometry that we just made. Wonder if Boolean is actually, it's a modifier in geometry nodes. Boolean or mesh Boolean? Well, definitely not that. Probably mesh Boolean. Mesh Boolean. Boom. Okay. This is gonna work, guys. This is gonna be awesome. Okay, this is the power of geometry nodes in Blender. So that's the mesh 1. Instances is mesh 2. Guys, look at that. Look at that. There it is. There it is. So float exact. Exact is gonna be more expensive. That's why it's taking so long. Oh no, it's hanging. No. It's hanging. There it is. Let's go back to float. Yep. Don't need any of that. Difference is what we want, but let's just see what intersect and union. That'll do like different operations, but we want it to be difference. Okay, so there it is. So now, exactly like what we were talking before with the other stuff is, I don't like that cut. We want to randomly deselect these points. So right now it's using, it is placing a cube. So like if we just look at this, so if we don't look at that, but if we look at that as the geometry, it's doing a random cube cut on every single vertex. So that is going to be here, every point of the object. But we don't want every point, we only want some of them. So I think if we do a math node, and then we do, nope, that's not adding in. Randomize, no, point. Pick instance maybe? No. How do we choose a random? Let's try. No, it's not even random. How do I deselect less geometry? It would probably be in geometry, read, sample, probably in sample. When he's making collectibles, the name of the game. Yes. When you break the boss's car, you should get the biggest crystal. Yes. Higher Lightning already told me that. We will do that. Thank you for the follow, Matthew. Means a lot. Oh yeah, more viewers on Purple than on TikTok right now. That's crazy. TikTok and YouTube combined. Look at that. My weekend was great. The in-laws came over for the weekend and we had a great time. We watched the Super Bowl. Super Bowl was kind of boring, but still a fun time with family. Oh, use the plugin. Okay, cool. Just copy the browser source to OBS. Got it. What's the goal? I don't understand which part of the process you're at. This is some pretty advanced stuff we're doing right now. So I'm making these cuts on the crystals. So if I just look at the final crystals, so that's what I'm doing. It is. We're using cubes to cut. So if I just do this, so this is what the original objects look like. Okay, I made these objects, but now what I want to do is add these little cuts right here. See this cut? It's on the corner. I want to add a cut onto some of the corners, so just to add some more detail to these. So far we're doing that, but right now it's cutting every single corner with these. So these are the random cubes that we put in to cut the corners, but it's currently cutting every corner, and which makes the whole crystal look a little too round. So I'm trying to make it so instead of using every point of the crystal, it only uses some of them. So I need to look that up in geometry nodes. Blender geometry nodes. Randomly select only some. No, hold up. Randomly instance on some points. Instance on points, we've already got that. Index value and collection info. Collection info instead of object info. No, I don't want that. Maybe I do actually pick instance. Maybe we do the random value plugged into pick instance. No, that's not right. That's picking a different cubist, but we don't need that. Selection. There we go. Random selection. No. It's still just all or nothing. How about we do a float? No, not that. Value. Selection. No, it's just like on or off. Instance index. Random value. No, that's for the instances part. I could take the geometry and then, let's see, geometry. It's gotta be sample, right? Sample index. No. Instances. Oh, it's gotta be geometry. Nope. Sample index? Did I already do that? I already tried that. Oh wait, hold on. Points and then that to selection. Nope. Gosh darn it. What is the answer to this? It's gotta be selection, right? Linear geometry nodes. Pick half of all vertices. Exactly half of all vertices in builder job to compare the vertex index to the total vertex count using an index node. Connect it to a math. It's so complicated. Index node connects to a math. Less than. And plug a domain size node. Set to point. Into the math node. So confused. And another math node. Divided by 2. And then what? That goes into selection? No. What's up, Burger? I'm working on a
Greetings,
mobile
hobbies.
superhero
This is
game
Arthur.
for a client, but I am specifically working on these crystals for the game that you collect. And I'm stuck on a geometry node thing. I'm trying to look up the answer for it. Any geometry node experts in the house right now? Went to a birthday party on Saturday, 1-year-old. And his dad? What the heck? Yes, I'm doing 3D modeling. I've done the basic modeling for the crystals, and now I'm just working on the geometry nodes to put some cuts into these vertices to make it look more like these crystals right here, this reference for the game. I'm stuck on a geometry nodes thing. If there are any geometry nodes experts in the house, please let me know. Okay, here might be something. So use index. Random value. ID. And then put that into, see, I don't even know what to put that into. Selection. Int. Which is still using everything. Oh wait. Boop. Oh wait, hold on. We need to math it. I'm so dumb. Math. Nope, that's not working. Maybe I'm not dumb. No, I'm still dumb, but take the geometry, go to points, and then of those points, that's what we have. Points. Oh my gosh. Oh, this is such a drag. This is not supposed to take this long. Sorry guys, this is a very boring part of the stream. I really apologize. Select random. That's what I want. like I want a random selection like I have in here. Select random. That's what I want. I want a node in geometry nodes for select random. Blender, geometry nodes, randomize, point selection. Delete geometry. Point selection random value. Take the geometry. All point Boolean there it is. Oh, this will work. This will work. So, man. So we're deleting some of the geometry just to get this random value. Okay. Move the stuff around. Okay, so now it's making those cuts only on, or okay, so sorry about that. It's gonna do this. So now instead of, so we do 1 or 0, it's placing these cubes on every single vertex, but as I adjust this value here, it's putting them on less and less and less. See that? The probability that they spawn. So then we use that to make the cuts, and then all we gotta do is do this, boop. Hold on. We're using this only to spawn. So then it makes this. Oh, you know what the problem is? Deleting that geometry messes up the rotation of all these things. Shoot. The rotation needs to be based off of maybe instead of deleting there, let's do this instead. So that's our original crystal. Here is what we're generating. Okay, it's a random cube on every single vertex. The rotation is correct. So then when we cut, it looks correct. Oh no, it doesn't. It's still off right there. Rotation is still off for some reason. Maybe maybe they're too big? Maybe too many? Don't know. There we go, that fixed that. That's better. That's much better. 1, 5. Yeah, that's better. Okay, but still it's cutting every single vertex and we need to fix that. So now what we can do is do this. So instead of keeping every single cube that we create, then let's delete the geometry. Delete some geometry, but not all of it. Only random value, maybe, like we were doing before. I think I need to separate the objects, separate geometry first. So separate the geometry. And then randomly. How was I doing that before? That random doodad. Index going to random value, float 0, 1. My lunch break, trying to blow anything up while he's creating. How many hours does it take to complete whatever you're doing? Dude, I don't know. We're in no man's land right now. I'm doing something that is way far out of what I was anticipating working on today. I'm just trying to add some random cuts to these objects using geometry nodes, and I'm not very well versed at geometry nodes, so trying to figure this out. Got these. I just don't want to cut every single vertex. So we can take all these cubes we got. Now I just want to separate them or delete them. So delete the geometry, but it's deleting everything. So delete all. But instead of deleting everything, first we need to separate it to points to instances, realize instances. That's what we need to do. Realize instances. Boom. Realize all, and then delete. Not all, but a random amount. Random value. ID. Gosh, dude. Oh, I'm muted, dude. Sorry about that. Dia Knights, first time chat. Welcome to the Twitch stream, guys. I'm streaming on Twitch, TikTok, and YouTube right now. So thank you for letting me know I was muted. I'm so sorry about that. Guys, so yes, I was saying I need a Blender geometry nodes expert in the chat because this is just not working. It is so frustrating. I could do something like this so fast in edit mode, but I've got to do it geometry nodes so that I can make these, randomize these crystals. So currently I'm randomly spawning these cubes on every single vertex of these crystals. But I want to spawn all of them. I want to only use some of the vertices, not all of them. So I've spawned all the cubes, but what I want to do now is just delete some of the cubes. So, delete some of this geometry. But these are just instances. Is it geometry? Green means geometry, so yes, so delete geometry. It's deleting everything, I get that. But now I just want to delete a certain selection. So this selection should work, but it doesn't. Float 0.5, it's just not working. Point instance. Nope. Wait, hold on. No, I still am not getting it. Int. Wait, stop deselecting it. Oh my gosh. I just want to cry. Finally. Oh my gosh, that took so long. Finally. Now I can just change this value. Oh, yes. Oh my gosh, I fixed it. Finally. Now we can easily, check this out, guys. Check it out. So now instead of cutting every single vertex, now I can just... Well, first, can I just get rid of that, please? Cut. How do you cut? How do you cut? Oh my gosh. Where's the cut tool? Node. Oh my gosh, this is... Okay. We're so close. Cut node link in Blender geometry nodes. I thought it was C, but I guess not. Hold control and drag the right mouse button. Okay, so boop. There it is. Okay. Okay, guys, we got it. We're right here. You ready for this? Here's where the magic happens. Ready? Ready? Yeah, see that? So now it's, yep. So now it's just randomly selecting. So actually, instead of that, I can just change this, I believe, to... float. No, hold on. I guess it does have to be int, integer, or boolean. No, boolean's just on or off. It keeps deselecting. That's so annoying. There it is, guys. There it is. Okay, so now show you what's happening. So these are the cubes that we're instantiating, okay? It's instantiating a cube. It's spawning a cube at every single vertex on these crystals, right? So we instantiate all these, but now I have this value here that I can adjust, and that will change how many we're spawning. And these cubes that we are spawning, these are the things that are cutting the vertices, right? So at 0, every single vertex is getting cut, but it makes it look too rounded. So now I just adjust this, increase it up, And now less and less get cut until finally, if you're at 1, then no vertex gets cut. So now I can just easily adjust this value to whatever we want. Boom. That is the power, but the complexity of geometry nodes. Boom, it's done. So now we can tweak values here to give it whatever look we want, but that looks good. I'm good with those crystals. So now what we can do is we can go open up. So now I can actually get rid of this particle system, which we're not even using anymore. Get rid of small cuts and large cuts too. Now just open up large infinium, open up small infinium, and then, okay, we're not using this boolean anymore, so I can get rid of that. Now all I have to do is, I could also do the displacement with geometry nodes too, but we won't do that. We'll just leave it like this for now. We just need to 0.5, 1. We'll just do geometry node. Come on. Geometry nodes, and then we'll use the same one, which is that one. Boop. So now that one up there uses the same thing too. Boom. And then this one, geometry nodes. Boom. Cool. Now all the crystals are cut randomly on the vertex. I love it so much. How much is your budget? Budget for what? So I can't share with you the budget that my client and I are working with because that's between me and him. 10,000 in our $80 for teaching me. I'm not sure what you're saying there. Oh, how much is your budget for teaching you? Teaching marble race or not? Oh, Kato, what's up? Yeah, we can do that. Once I go make my lunch, I'll bring it in and we can do the marble race. I've still got the tab pulled up. It's almost 1 o'clock. I'll do a lunch break soon in a bit, but I want to finish this real quick. Currently, it's doing these cuts. Let's see. It's basing the scale. So if I do this to look at that, it's using the same size cubes for everything. But before, when we were using the particle system, we had the cubes bigger depending on the size of the object. So what I want to do is these cubes need to be larger based on the size of the input geometry. Okay. So input geometry. Let's make sure our scale. Yeah, our scale is applied. So we should be able to take our input geometry and use it up of bounding. Yeah, bounding box. That's our bounding box. And then get a value out of that somehow, or maybe mesh to volume. I don't want a volume because I think that's going to make like an actual volume. Let's see. Yeah, it's making a volume, like smoke type volume. I don't want that. I think bounds might be it. Okay, so that's doing a bounding box based on everything. So really what I need to do is the stuff that we're doing over here, the array and the displacement, I need to build that into the geometry nodes as well for this to really work. Or, you know what I could do actually? I could just take the first piece. I could take the geometry and then delete geometry, select index, just of the first value. I think that would be. think it's much easier just to array it in geometry nodes. So let's do this. Okay, so before we delete geometry and do all that, let's array this in geometry nodes first. Okay, so let's turn off array and displace for now, honestly. Okay, and then let's just array that in geometry nodes. Array, duplicate elements. Duplicate the geometry. Instance. Okay, face. So now I believe it's duplicating everything now correctly. You really can't do a simple array modifier with geometry nodes? Let's see. Blender geometry nodes array. How to array with geometry nodes. Okay. Look at that. There is an array node in Blender 5.0, but I'm not using Blender 5.0. Shoot. Let's look at this one. Create arrays using... Okay. Duplicate elements is correct. By point? No. Mesh? Line? No, that's not right. Is it? It is, actually. Okay, I found a tutorial. This should be it. Seems really complicated just for an array. Okay. Astro, I am making these crystals right here for a video game, and I'm making them with geometry nodes so that I can create a lot of different variations of this. And this looks really terrible right now, but it's because I'm currently in the middle of just creating a simple array modifier. But the crystals are like 95% done once I actually pull them back in here with geometry nodes, but I will hopefully get there in a bit. Just trying to figure out how to do an array in geometry nodes. I promise I'm an advanced user, Blender user. You guys have been using Blender for like 20 years, but I'm very new to geometry nodes. And some really simple stuff that you can do in Blender gets a little bit more complicated in geometry nodes. Okay, so duplicate elements, mesh line, 0. So let's do on the x-axis. Okay, so now we're doing that, but then the geometry needs to go to instance on points. That is the points, and then the geometry is there. Instance. There we go. Now we've got an array modifier going. Perfect. So now we are doing the same thing as this array modifier over here, but we don't have to use this. So we did 10 and on the 2. Still not coming out to the same value though. Interesting. Point. Geometry, amount 1, count 10. Yeah, that's interesting. Hey, thanks for Madam Bun Bun. Welcome to the stream. Good to see you again, as always. Okay, so that array modifier needs to be actually more than 2. There we go. Okay. Perfect. Maybe it's because it was relative offset we were using in the modifier. Interesting. Can I just do... Okay, I see. I want to be able to just use 2. But it's... Can you not do relative offset? Object info, maybe? No. So this works for array, so it's fine. I could just do it here because it's, yeah, but I want to figure out how to get.
And right after duplicate elements, connect the set position node.
Set position node, okay. I don't need that. So we've got the array, which is fine. I just want to figure out how to do Blender geometry nodes array array relative offset. That's what I want. Duplicates geometry based on its bounding box size. That's what I want. Instance on points. Instance on points here. Don't need this. Combined with a bounding box node to calculate space by multiplying the object's dimensions via bounding box dimensions. Yep. Box dimensions. An offset vector in the instance it copies the place. Okay. Take the mesh of the geometry. Use that as a bounding box. Where would I connect that though? An offset vector. Instance index.
अरे नोट में डिस्टेंस फिक्स करने के लिए 3 ऑप्शन.
Dude, I might should just update to Blender 5.0 because Blender 5.0 already has an array node in it. Should I just do that? Look at this. Blender 5.0 already has array renewed. Say hi to the new array modifier. Oh, that's a modifier. I don't want modifier. I want. Oh, it's built using geometry nodes, allowing you to customize and expand them as you like. That is freaking awesome, dude. I just need to upgrade to Blender 5.0. You can't lose on the game yet, but we will definitely make that. Thank you, Gato. It means a lot. Do you get monetized? Yes, I am monetized on YouTube. Don't make very much from it, though. Yes, I make my living off of game design and visual effects contracts. Yes, but not off of streaming. Streaming I just do because I'm working at the same time and I want to kind of build up my own brand. So I've been doing this Pixelfire YouTube channel for the past, YouTube, Twitch, TikTok stuff, Instagram for the past 5-ish years. Okay, array modifier create. I don't want array node. I want. Thank you for the gifts, Madam Oba. That means a lot. Heart me in the popular vote. Blender 5.0 array node. Yes, the array node creates multiple copies of an input geometry and arranges them in a linear, circular, or custom pattern. That's exactly what I want. Exactly what I need. I'm doing all this work when this exists in the newest Blender. Relative, offset, dude. Yeah, I'm just gonna update, guys. I'm just gonna update. I'm gonna update. Let's do it. Let's do it. Okay. Let's see. 5.0 Blender download. Let's see. 5.01. Let's go ahead and get it. Install, download Blender. Downloads, save. Gonna make this so much faster and easier. Okay, so get rid of that. Not even gonna do that or that or that. So here's where we're currently at with geometry nodes. See, we have this. Turn this array back on. So all these various crystals, okay, and we've displaced the vertices, and we've also made some random cuts into some of these as well. So these are the collectibles that you get in the game. These crystals, Infinium. So we're good, but I want to randomize things a little bit more. So you'll see that these cuts that are being made are the same size on the large, medium, and small. But I want to make the cuts different sizes based on the size of that. So to do that, I need to build the array bake the array modifier into geometry nodes instead of in these typical modifiers over here. That's what we're doing right now. We're gonna be ready to play. Probably in my goal is to finish the game in a month, but my client will probably release it to the app stores probably in sometime this summer, maybe March or April. Not March, probably April or May. We're gonna do a testing phase, or if you guys are interested in testing the game and being beta testers, you can do that. I'll probably open that up in the next few weeks. But yeah. Can you have Robux but on your version? No, this is not Roblox related at all. Okay, so I downloaded that. Let's install it. Next. Install. Let me go ahead and save this. Minus out of it. Bum ba da bum bum ba da bum bum ba da bum ba da bum bum. Play the game, okay. That's why it's not installing, so I gotta do that. There we go. It's like, why is it not installing? So this game is a superhero fighting game for mobile, and it is based off the comic book series by my client. Okay, so you progress in this game from left to right, just like the old retro side scrollers, like the Ninja Turtles, Power Rangers, Street Fighter, Streets of Rage, those types of games. I have all the bad guys turned off right now because we were just building the level last week. But level is done. This is kind of what the game looks like. And we haven't quite gotten far enough yet, but as you progress from left to right, the day-night cycle switches from day to night. Because at the very end of the level, let me just teleport drip. At the very end of the level, you get to this port and dock area where you fight the final boss. And that is right in here. Oh, can't. This is where you fight the final boss. This is the end of the level. So all the objects in the game are going to be breakable and destroyable. So like this vehicle here, for instance, you hit it, it knocks it around. And so what I'm working on right now is once you destroy an object, these Infinium crystals will pop out of it. That's these guys right here. And when you collect these Infinium crystals, this alien crystal from outer space, when you collect these Infinium crystals, that's what powers up your suit and your weapons and all that. So I'm working on that right now. Okay. Blender 5.0 is installed. Finish. Let's open Blender 5.0. Boop. And see what we got. This is my first time ever using Blender 5.0. I'm excited. No, Gato, have not updated the fountain yet. Import preferences. Boop. Yeah, I've not done any of the effects on the game yet. No, there's no driving. It's just a mobile superhero game. Dude, what in the world? Import. What? It's taking a long time to import preferences. No, not really. So the point of the game is to defeat the final boss, right? Just like all the old style games. You go throughout a level. There we go. You go through a level, you work your way from left to right, defeat all the enemies, fight the final boss at the end of each level. And then each level in this game matches up with the comic book series that my client created. So level 1 in the game matches up with comic book issue number 1. Level 2 in the game matches up with comic book number 2. Okay, so here's 5.0. Let's open. There's no recent. Oh, yeah, I can. Open Infinium. Don't save. Boom. So here is Infinium, but now we're using 5.0. So there should be an array modifier. Boom. There it is. So now I can turn the array modifier off here. And then do this array based on relative. And we were doing what we were doing before. Move you guys over here. We're doing 2. So relative offset 2. Boom. Now this matches up exactly with the old modifier, which is perfect. Let's just check it out real quick. Geometry on. Yep, perfect. Beautiful. Okay, count 10. Beautiful. 2. Realize instances. Yep. And then random. Oh, they have a randomized built in? Dude. That's cool. We don't need to randomize that though, because we're doing that in our stuff. Cool. So now I can get rid of that array modifier. Perfect. And get rid of it here too. Rid of it here too. Boom. Perfect. Okay. Now I should be able to randomize the scale based on the bounding box of one crystal, not the whole array of crystals. So, bounding box of just this. See what that looks like. Yep, perfect. So that's the bounding box of just the first crystal. So before it was using this value right here. Boom. And we didn't want that. We want only the bounding box of the first crystal. So that works perfect. And then from that bounding box, we need to get some type of value. So math. Can I just like get like, what is this? What is the value of that? Can I see it somehow in the... I want to get the bounding box size value. How would we do that? Could just take that maybe and multiply it. Or add to 1. Nope, that doesn't work, obviously. What if I just take this bounding box value and put it in? It's probably not gonna work either. Yeah, that doesn't work. I need to somehow get the size from that. Domain size? Probably not, because that's for volumes. Oh, no, maybe. No, it's still doing the same for each object. So I want bounding box, like that's correct. That's getting what I want. It's the size of each thing, but then how do I just get this? How do I turn that into a value? Capture attribute. Let's see here. Blender geometry nodes get bounding box size value. Oh, that makes sense. That's very complicated, but it makes sense. So you subtract. I'll just pull it down here so you guys can see this. I need to go eat lunch. You guys see all this? Sort of, not really. You use the bounding box node and subtract the minimum corner from the maximum corner. So size equals max minus min. Precise width, height, and depth of the input geometry for calculation. Use the instance. How far the box extends in each of the negative max. Mesh output and the min outputs do not take instances. Geometry bounding box. outputs the vector position. So what was that saying before? That was saying subtract minimum corner from the maximum corner. So math, or no, not that. We need vector math. Subtract max, subtract min. And you use that value to drive the scale, which is this guy around here. Hey, that works. Look at that. Nice. So without that, it's using the same scale for every object, but now with this, bigger for bigger objects, medium for middle, and small for there. Nice. Not quite sure why though. Kind of want the middle one to stay where it's at. So what I could do is multiply that again. Multiply by oh, there it is, kind of right there. 5 by 0.5. Cool. That works. And so now, when we do this, here, boom. Now all the cut sizes are relative to the size of the crystal. So we got medium cuts, big cuts, smaller cuts, and we can amplify that by changing this value here. Nice. Let's make that like, one's probably too much because like look at that guy. That guy looks terrible. 0.8? No, we're still getting a pretty bad cut in there. And I wonder if, oh, I bet we're getting that cut there because that is coming from a box over here, I want to say. Let me see where that box is coming from. Yeah, that is coming from the other guy. So we can actually do this. I can actually, I can just make the array spread them out further. And that will make them not intersect with each other. So I can just do this. Yeah, so now if they're spread out further, they won't interfere with each other's boxes. Nice. Let's actually make that a 3 just to be safe. Beautiful. And now, let's check it. Now these cubes should not interfere with each other. They do, we can fix it. But guys, look at this. Like, it's taken a lot of work for us to get here this morning, but we've got 3 different sizes of Infinium crystals, okay? Small, medium, large. And for each size, we have 10 variations that are all random. So now every single time an Infinium pops out into space and you collect it, they're going to be randomized. So it's not like you're collecting the same thing over and over and over again. Like there'll be some variation there, which is really cool. I'm going to adjust this some more. So from 0.8, if we do like a, ooh, that's a little too dramatic. I don't know, maybe not. Maybe it looks pretty cool. Here's super small. Look at that. Oh, so dude, literally just by changing this value here, we're changing the look of all of our Infinium crystals and they're all randomized. That's so gorgeous, dude. You love to see it. I feel like 1 is the way to go. 1 feels really good, a value of 1 or 1.1. Look at that. Oh, gorgeous. I feel like I could keep playing with this for forever. I could keep adding like different randomized cuts and smaller cuts and bigger cuts to each thing. Like I could play with this forever. Like this is the type of stuff I love doing. Like making procedural dynamic elements like this is just so fun. But we've got to get this into the game. We've already spent so much time on this. So look, there it is. There's our randomized Infinium crystals. Now we talked about making these larger ones more like clumped together. So let me just go ahead and apply this real quick and see what that looks like. Let me just select all of them. Object, convert to mesh. And then P selection by loose parts. Now they're all their own individual objects, okay? Now let's like grab a few of these guys and move them over to here. Yeah, so like something like that, like even like that just looks really, really cool. So maybe these large ones will kind of be like clumps. Because these are going to be like the more overpowered crystals. Like when you collect the bigger ones, it gives you more energy, right? The smaller ones a little less, medium, kind of average, and the bigger ones super, super powered, right? That's so cool, dude. That's so cool. We just undo everything so we get our geometry nodes back. I don't want to lose that. Oh, also, those aren't displaced either. There we go. Now it looks even better. Cool. So we have successfully moved over the array modifier into geometry nodes, which makes this so much better. And these are good. These are good. I might tweak them a little bit more, but I'm not sure. But let me catch up on chat, guys. I've just been in the zone with work this morning. Did some really complex stuff, so I'm gonna catch up on chat and see how you guys are doing. Let's see. See you tomorrow, Kareem. Thanks for joining the stream. Command Slime Light, welcome to the stream. Things are going great. A little slow this morning, but we're making some great progress. Yes, KMTG, I am the Lego guy. Okay. Guys, I need to break for lunch, and it's actually super late right now. It's 1:30. Man, this is a late lunch. I have a dentist appointment at 3, so I have to leave here at like 2:30. I think I might just end stream here, guys. I could eat lunch on stream and keep going at it, but I think I'm just gonna go ahead and end stream. Yeah, I'm gonna end stream, go eat lunch, go to the dentist, and I don't think I'll be able to do stream after dentist today. So next stream will probably be tomorrow morning, and we will continue working on these. I was hoping to get a lot further on these today on stream. Yeah, we're gonna do that. Hey, thanks for the sub on YouTube, Albert. It means a lot. Thank you, Mr. Mark. That means a lot. Yeah, so let's do a raid, guys. We'll end the stream here. Thanks for the follow, Lil Santos. I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream on TikTok and YouTube, and then we'll do a raid on Twitch. Okay. So thanks, guys, for hanging out with me today. I know it was a little bit of a more boring stream because it just took so long to figure out that geometry node stuff, but we got to figure it out. So yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Dude, 14 viewers on Twitch now. That's awesome. Right when I'm like, we're getting so many viewers on Twitch right as I'm ending stream. Shoot. Maybe I should keep stream going. Just go make lunch. No, we'll end stream. We'll just end stream. Okay. I'm gonna end the stream on TikTok. Here we go. End it on YouTube.